from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for the podcaster who's here to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep. It's time for the podcaster that's here to be your boyfriend and, whose mind just went blank, even though he's introduced this podcast, I don't know, like 1,300, are we on 1,300 episodes? I have no idea. I think so. I think we're in the mid-1300s, but you wouldn't know by listening to me. But I'm glad you're here if you're new. I'm really here to be open to going off topic, to be open to getting confused and mixed up or to running out of steam. Because I'm really here to ease you off into dreamland slowly in a friendly way. I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff so later on you could fall asleep whenever you wish. And I really hope if you're new, this podcast can help you out. It is a bit different because, you think a sleep podcast, you're supposed to put me to sleep right away. And I say, no, I'm kind of like a roommate that is not interesting, but just interesting enough. You say, you could just talk to me about some goofy stuff so I could fall asleep, keep me company. And I say I could try. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at the talking stuff. I mean, I'm not good at being clear. And they say, yeah, I know. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think I could give it a shot. So that's what I'll try to do. So I don't know if you're new. I really appreciate you checking the show out. Just see how it goes. This is more, it's different. It isn't, it's indirect and friendly. It's barely entertaining and mildly amusing. Or barely amusing and mildly. No, maybe it's always barely. Well, just see how it goes. Give it a few tries. I'm really glad you're here. What we got coming up is support. So paying for the show is optional. Then intro that's meant to ease you into bedtime while you wind down or get comfortable. And then later on will be a bedtime story. I think we're going to get a visit from my neighbor, Ray. He's supposed to come by and talk. So, yeah, that's it. I'm glad you're here. And here's a couple of ways we're able to do this together so we could be here for you consistently whenever you need it. Because that's our commitment in 2025 is to be here for you. On a regular basis. So I'm glad you're here. And, yeah, here's a couple of ways we're able to do it for you. Sleep With Me podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are the things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots. I'm talking about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And if you don't have a Helix mattress in your life, you got to think about taking the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. I've been sleeping in my Helix probably longer than you've been listening to this podcast. And I love my bed so much. I have a move coming up, and I'm trying to decide because I have to move in a couple different stages just due to things outside of my control. And I know I'm going to be in my apartment, but most of my stuff's going to be gone. And I'm like, should I keep my Helix there and then buy another Helix for my next destination? Or should I pay to have that Helix moved, but I don't want to be without it? Because I don't think I'll be able to sleep without it because I love sleeping in my Helix. And I know it'll be super easy if I take the Helix quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep. Maybe my needs and feel preferences have changed. So I could see what my options are. I could choose between a Luxe mattress, a Helix Elite, or just, whatever comes up in my search. I know I'll have choices. So the question is, do you have that kind of relationship with your mattress that you don't want to be without it? Because if you don't, what are you waiting for, right? You could have a Helix shipped straight to your door free of charge and get testing it out. But the first thing you need to do is just take that quiz, because Helix has you and your needs in mind, your feel preferences. How do you like to sleep? How does your partner like to sleep? So it is time for you to get a new bed. Because trust me, this summer, I do not want to be without my Helix mattress. And Helix has got an amazing deal lined up for you. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide during their summer sale from June 2nd through June 12th. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Hey, everybody, Scoots here, and I'm trying to reach a particular listener, so pay attention if you're this particular listener. Do you listen to Sleep With Me 4 or more nights a week? Do you listen to Sleep With Me 4 or more nights a week? Monday through Thursday, Sunday through Wednesday? Is that 4 nights? I don't even know. Because if you do, this message is for you, right? Sleep With Me is a part of your week. It's a part of your routine. It's a part of your rhythm. It helps make your week better. I would hope. And maybe you've heard hundreds of episodes. Maybe you're a newer listener, but you've heard my meanders, you've heard the intros, you've heard the stories, or you've fallen asleep to them ideally. But if Sleep With Me is a part of your regular weekly routine, that makes you a super listener. And I'd like to ask you something, and this isn't about guilt or whatever. This is an invitation to being a part of something special, a part of something, a special part of your routine, and a special part of a lot of other people's routines, or something special that's just there for them during a time of need. It's not part of their routine. They're just going through something really tough. If those things have meaning to you and the show is a part of your regular routine, could you consider supporting the show back right now? We could really use your support so we can be a part of your routine 2026, 2027, into the future. If you could be one of those people right now, and maybe you've heard the messages, maybe you heard the mini-sode we put out, consider supporting the show right now at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus so I can keep being part of your routine. Also, you don't have to hear me asking for support over and over again. It's a better listener experience, particularly if you're listening multiple times a week. But it's really about being able to be here for you and everybody else into the future. Think about supporting the show back. Thanks. At sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Oh, Mystery Bard. A lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Posterson, who sounds like an earful, wrote the theme song, edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend, also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer, Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcript.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. And don't forget, the most comfortable way to listen to Sleep With Me is with sleep phones. You can get Sleep With Me merch, Sleep With Me branded sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. And use Sleep With Me at checkout to get $5 off your order. The only way you can get the Sleep With Me merch editions is sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Thanks, everybody. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, thoughts, the things you're thinking about, thoughts about the past, present, the future. So things you're thinking about, it could be feelings, anything coming up for you emotionally, or feelings that are just there. It could be changes in time. temperature routine. You could be going through something. You could be getting over something in the middle, traveling, have guests. Maybe you work a different shift. Whatever it is, I'm here to take your mind off whatever it is that's keeping you awake, because you deserve a good night's sleep, really. You deserve a bedtime that you don't have to dread. And I don't know if that's the case for you or you're just going through something temporarily, but I know what it feels like, and a lot of other people that are listening do too. And I might not know exactly what you're going through, but I think I could relate to how it feels on the inside, at least a little bit. And that's important to me because I say, man, I know what it feels like for me. And I know what it feels like not to be understood by other people. And I know what it feels like not to have control over the sleep that I desire and need. And I know what it feels like to dread bedtime. So that's why I ended up making this show, because I found as a kid the stuff that was supposed to work for me, it didn't help me. And other people didn't quite understand what it felt like and what I was up against. And to adulthood, I would try different stuff and it didn't work. And I said, how come there's not something out there that's just like a friendly voice that's not putting any pressure on me or not expecting me to fall asleep, but just there to take my mind off of stuff, like a bedtime story for grown-ups. But that's a little bit more, I don't know, it's different than a kid's bedtime story, even though the show could work for kids, or there's kids that listen. That's cool, right? You're cool kids. But I don't know. So if you've been looking for something like that or you don't know, give this show a try, because in the end, you deserve a bedtime where you get the rest you need so your life's more manageable tomorrow. And that when you start thinking about bedtime or you start thinking about going to bed on Sunday night, on Friday or Saturday, you say, well, at least I got that podcast there to keep me company. It makes it a little bit better, a little bit less lonely, a little bit less painful. That's really what my job is. And the delight of my job is if you get the rest you need. And then the greatest delight is that you get the rest you need on a regular basis, so you could be out there in the world flourishing. And that means our world really is a better place with you in it fully, or, no pressure, mostly partially full. I don't want to be fully in the world, or to be told that. But I do wish that, for you, mostly full, you know what I'm saying? That you're fulfilled, but no pressure. You know what I mean? Like a low level. I don't want low-level fulfillment for you. I want full fulfillment, but I want full fulfillment with the lowest amount of pressure. I think I've over-explained myself once again, but that's why I'm here, because I overthink it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I'm going to go off topic. I'm going to get mixed up. Then I'm going to forget what I was talking about. Be a lot of filler words like that to fill things in. And yeah, I mean, that's my main thing. And the thing about the show is most people have a strong reaction when you first get here because, one, you're tired, right? You could be skeptical or doubtful because you tried a ton of different stuff to help you fall asleep, and you say, man, I've already tried a ton of different other stuff to help me fall asleep. Why would this thing work? And I say, well, good point. So, yeah, that's true. And what else? Then you say, well, I tuned in this thing. I thought it was supposed to help me fall asleep. This guy's just rambling and talking about nothing. And I say, yeah, you're right about that as well. I'm here to just kind of ramble and talk about nothing, to keep you company and take your mind off of stuff and get mixed up, and my brain goes blank even now. Now, the thing is, so that's why I say it takes a few tries, but if you find you don't like me or the show, or it's not going to work, that is totally cool. Like for most people, this isn't a fit, right? Like with the other stuff I said still holds true, though. I still wish you could get a good night's sleep. And so I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you, which has other sleep podcasts and other stuff on there. But that's the level of no pressure that I mean. Like, give this show a few tries and see if it works out. If not, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. Because there's other different styled sleep podcasts on there and other sleepy audio that you could check out that could help you out. So then you have no pressure. You really have nothing to lose. So just see how it goes. And that's what most people that pay to support the podcast so it can come out regularly said that, man, at first I couldn't stand you. And then in the second or third try, I just realized that, oh, wait, I fell asleep at some point. I didn't even realize it. And then they were like, oh, wait, okay, now I kind of get the fact that the podcast doesn't make any sense. It's not meant to put me to sleep. It is meant to just be there while I fall asleep. So just give it a few tries. But like when you find out the podcast works for you, you're like, wait a second, I had no idea to look for something like this either. So I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate it. So most people don't like the podcast. They're skeptical or doubtful. For the majority of people, they'll never like it. But I hope for you, you do. Because when you find it, you say, man, sweet. Now I got my oddball boyfriend. This is also a podcast that you just barely listen to or you kind of passively listen, which is also a little bit different. It's a podcast that it's kind of like background noise that or TV on in the other room or a photo, like something just out of focus. And so, yeah, I guess that's, I don't know, like I'll describe it. It's like a passive listening, like almost like you're pretending to listen to somebody in real life. And you say, okay. Oh, yeah. What were you saying? Okay. And like, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but where your headphones cut out, or if you're going from like wearing headphones to getting in your car and they're in the middle of talking about something, and there's like maybe a 5 to 4, I think anything over 20 seconds usually get caught, but, and they don't realize it. And it's like, well, it's only 5 seconds. What could I mean, or it was only 20 seconds. What could I make? They're still talking about it. This podcast, you could miss like 8 minutes and you'd say, he's still talking about it. That's fine. Like, this is the one situation you don't get over. You say, should I tell the person I didn't hear them for 20 seconds? Because they're still happily going on. And if I interrupt them, that, you know, and it's like, then they're going to be like, what kind of person goes from their house to their car? And you say, like, everybody? Oh. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you're like me too. You're like, should I say, do I interrupt them? Do I tell them I didn't hear what they said for 20 seconds? Or can I fill it in? Was they even listening in the first place? No, of course I was. But this one, you don't have to listen, so there's no pressure. So no pressure to listen, no pressure to fall asleep either. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this show. I'm going to be here over an hour to keep you company and take your mind off stuff so you don't have to worry about falling asleep. There's people listening who need a break during the day or who can't sleep at all. So I'm here for you and for them to the very end, whether you're awake or asleep. I'm here to keep you company whether you're listening to me or not. And that's really what ends up working about the show. And the way it works is because my job's to be your boyfriend, your borbay, your borsib, your borbud, your neighbor, your borby, your bores, your best boyfriend forever, to be your friend, to keep you company in the deep dark night. So that's my, yeah, I guess that's my job, right? Your Borloff. I said best boyfriend forever, right? I don't know. Sometimes I think of more of them. Sometimes I forget. But yeah, I'm just here to keep you company so you don't have to listen to me. The only other thing I like to explain in the intro is, well, why do we have a long meandering intro? But the whole structure of the show, and then just in case, and this is great news because this is the first time I'm starting to hear from that this message is that it's helping people, because there's two versions of Sleep With Me that are ad supported, this full version and then a story only version. And so you do have some options. And then so let me just explain it to you just in case. And then if this is like your third or fourth listen or your like 10th listen, you say, oh, okay, maybe I'll try that. Or like maybe you want so much Sleep With Me that you want 5 episodes a week or whatever. So the way the show works is all our shows start off with a greeting. Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in. And you say, oh, okay, I could check that podcast out. Then there's support so that paying for the show is optional. If you prefer something without ads, you get that at Sleep With Me Plus. But most people like listening to this ad-supported version because they don't have to pay for it and they can just listen to it linearly and fall asleep. Then right after the support is a long, meandering intro. It's totally separate from the support. And the intro is meant to introduce what the podcast is, but it's ineffective. It's ineffective or it's in whatever the word is, right? I'm not really good at just introducing the podcast in a short, succinct manner. But that's good for a sleep podcast because what happens is for the intro, I follow a familiar structure every time, but each intro is different because I get confused at a different point or go off topic at a different point. And that way, the show feels familiar, but it has variety. And I just found personally, and from the feedback I get from listeners, that that's a thing, that like that unpredictability and familiarity that keeps whatever's keeping us awake a little bit more distracted. But the intros also goes for like 15 or 20 minutes because it's not just meant to introduce the podcast, but to ease you into bedtime, to kind of be a transition period from like before bedtime to getting ready for bedtime to wind down to going to sleep. And so the intro, like a lot of people listening while they're getting ready for bed, they're winding down or doing a chill activity, or they're in bed getting comfortable. Now, there are some people that listen, that fall asleep during the intro, and if this ad-supported version works and you fall asleep during the intro, great. Or that listen all night. Usually the Sleep With Me Plus versions are better for that kind of stuff, but if it works for you, perfect. But for most people, like the intro is a wind down, okay? And then there'll be support, and then our bedtime story, which tonight will be a visit from our neighbor, Ray. But so that's the structure show. But if you say, well, I prefer something with just the stories, you could get, there's an ad-supported, so you don't have to pay for it, it's free version of Sleep With Me. It's called Bedtime Stories from Sleep With Me. And that just has story-only versions of the show from a few years ago. So again, then and you can also work it into your listening so you have even more variety. And then there'll be our bedtime story. I think that's it. I think I got everything covered. I'm really glad you're here, though. And it's really good to have you back. If you're a regular listener, if you're new, like, I hope I can help you. And I'm only here to help you by being a mild distraction. You're bored, bud. I hope I can be a friendly voice in the deep, dark night. Just like when I was a kid and I listened to comedy radio and I said, man, finally something to get me out of my head. Finally something to give me some distance from these feelings. Finally something to take my mind off of all the stuff that's happening. It feels like, it gets me to get me unstuck. So I hope I can get you unstuck too a little bit and help you flow off into dreamland. It really would be my honor. And I work really hard at it. So do a bunch of other people. because it's a worthy goal to help you out. So I really hope we can. And thank you again for giving us your time and coming by. And if you want to be more a part of this, these are a couple ways we are able to do this for you regularly. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, ZocDoc. And, I wish I was using ZocDoc when I started to discover this issue with my hand. And instead of making an appointment right away, I put it off because I was so busy. But I didn't really know which doctor to go to. It's not easy for me to make an appointment. And it's even harder for me to find a specialist and make an appointment with them. But now I know to just turn to ZocDoc. We've all been there. Booking a doctor's appointment can just feel so daunting. But thanks to ZocDoc, we finally have an easy and painless way to find and book a doctor that's right for us. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and choose the right one for your needs and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, and are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. And like I said, I'm getting ready to move. I'm going to be changing insurance at some point, and I'm so relieved to know I can use ZocDoc to find a specialist I'm going to need when I get settled. And I could get to know them first, right? I can see that they have open appointments. I can read verified patient reviews, and I'll have peace of mind that my hands are in good hands. So you should check out ZocDoc too. What are you waiting for? So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/sleep to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/sleep. ZocDoc.com/sleep. Get over there. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, this is Scoots. I'm going to turn the mic over to my neighbor, Ray. If you're new to this podcast, what do you call it? Like Ray's my neighbor. He'll kind of, we're going to try to get right into this episode, though. I can remember recently explaining who Bernie was, and Ray, I like to have a Ray episode come out around the same time as a Bernie episode, because if it wasn't for Bernie, we wouldn't have Ray on the show, which I feel like I talked about in the Bernie. Wait, wasn't there 2 Bernie episodes? There was almost a Bernie episode. Then there was the Bernie episode. So this is the Ray episode. It has nothing to do with the Bernie episode, other than as like a palate cleanser. So Ray's my neighbor. He's been my neighbor twice over. He's I describe him as the most well-adjusted person I've ever met. He's very friendly, very positive, optimistic. He loves everything. I mean, he's not like he's sweet, but not too sweet either. He has a soft edge. But he's great to have on the podcast. He loves to talk about theme parks. And tonight we're going to do something we've only done once before, which is kind of Ray's going to narrate a Epcot Center attraction that no longer exists. So without further ado, my neighbor Ray. Hello, everybody. This is your friend Ray, and I'm here in your ears. Now, luckily, I'm not on video because we're going to video. Sorry, Scooter. I'm Ray. I'm Scooter's neighbor, Ray, but I'm not on video. Scooter's been recording himself recording. But he said for this one, he's going to try to get permission to use someone's YouTube video of this attraction and slow it down so it somehow matches up with my talking. It looks like the video we have is 24 minutes, but maybe Scooter will slow it down. So we're going to go through the attraction Horizons, which closed. We do have some facts, but I don't have them in front of me this second. But it closed in like 1994. So that's like over 30 years ago, Scooter. This ride's been closed, but you're still thinking about it. And Scooter may do a companion piece to talk about it, but if you ever want to listen to other ones where Scooter's talking about it, you could do the World of Motion one, which we did in a similar way. What was interesting, though, and we had this experience with Scooter was doing the World of Motion one, which was another extinct attraction in Epcot Center. It transported us to a different place other than the attraction, doing the narration. But Scooter doesn't know this, but he's also going to help me out a little bit, so hopefully. So this attraction is, we'll just go through it. Maybe it'll be more interesting and sleepy if we don't set it up too much. That was Scooter's instinct. And I have to agree with it. But imagine you're hearing children singing a song along the lines of dreaming and we can do it, we can dream it, right, everybody? We can. Yes, we can. And if you've ever wondered about looking into the future and, kind of picturing a world you've yet to see, like wonder of finding new ways that lead to brighter, future brighter days, or dreamed, have you ever dreamed the dreams? Scooter, have you ever dreamed the dreams of children? He's shrugging at me there. Just imagine the magic their minds can see. It's kind of like a beginner's mind, Scooter. Scooter, don't be embarrassed that we're both trying that. We don't call it so much beginner's mind, but that is what it is. Scooter doesn't talk about it on the show, but he tries to do a lot of work every single morning. He's meditating and trying to, okay, he's telling me, he says he doesn't want to put any pressure on anybody to do what he does. But he does try to he's trying. He said his progress is incrementally slow, but he's still willing to try. I like that about you, Scooter. Thanks, Ray. That was my version of Scooter. Okay, have you dreamed the dreams of children? Just imagine the magic. If we can dream it, like the children say, there's horizons shining and new, that are horizons shining and new, where dreams do come true. And it will be a future with care for you and me, a world we can all share. And today holds the challenge to make this world a better place to be, horizons for you and me. The children, they can dream it and do it. You can, if you're a child out there, if you can dream it out there, you could try, you can do it. But don't just do it, just put in the effort. Okay, so welcome to Horizons in Future World, everybody. I got to start. I don't know when the video, Scooter, when should I hit play? Oh, he's saying just go for it now. Okay. But as you approach Horizons, it was a big building. Now, I got to say this, not the most attractive building in Epcot Center back in the day. I would say most attractive building is, if they were polished, would be between Living with the Land and Journey into the Imagination, because they were both window-based WBBs, window-based buildings. But lately, I say, can you put a shine on there? What are you doing over there? Can you shine those buildings up a little bit? And then I say to myself, Ray, are you the one that's not seeing the shine? And I like the shape of the Seas building. Obviously, what many people call the golf ball, Spaceship Earth, is quite a nice looking building too. That's an icon. So I'd say while it is a building, I realize that. I would say it's also an icon. Wonders of Life was not a bad building. I still don't understand why that had such a short run. Here's another thing. Mission Space, don't even know what it looks like. I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I know it has a thing out front, but I don't know what the building looks like. So Horizons, I think it was supposed to look like a spaceship. Now, if you lived at this time, and I don't know if it was described this way, it could look like you could have been a container for like a Big Mac or a Whopper. It was in a similar shape as that, but I think it was supposed to be a ship that had landed but it wasn't. It doesn't take place it does takes place in the future, but there is no other a human, like a Earth-based future. But we go up and we start to hear that song, the area music, the children singing. And then the sliding doors we go through and now I'm starting the video. Okay, he said, great. And we go inside the building there through the automatic doors. And then oh boy, this video's showing it. And there's a sign that says, ride tomorrow's dreams today. And it looks like to the left of the sign is how we're going to get in there. Nice planta. So here's the thing. Good job on that planta. I mean, hello, Epcot. I like that planta. Oh, garbage can there. And there's some of the lyrics from the song on the wall there. If you could dream it, you could do it. And also Scooter, is that an icon for Horizon's symbol, the Horizon symbol? Now, there is a line. I think it just loops back once or twice. Now, this is an Omni-Mover attraction, so you're not waiting. This is one of the best things about this ride in the World of Motion is that because it's an Omni-Mover, and you enter in this place called Futureport, which is like a future port for expeditions to places. And what do we got here? There's it even has destinations, Mesa Verde, that one, Final Call, that's 98. So if you're like Ray, this is a chance for you to get in the groove, right? So you stop pretending. Oh, I don't know how, it's a little bit like a light version of dreaming. This is free advice, so Disney, no offense, but they don't really do this too much anymore. And, but they don't have rides, I guess, I don't know. I'm just in a place I'm not talking clearly, but I prefer, I'll state it that way, to get in the zone where I begin to suspend I guess you do that kind of with Guardians, but suspension to disbelief starts when you cross over the threshold. And you could so choose, you don't have to, but Scooter and I do so choose, or we liked to in the past there. So this one you could pretend, I guess, again, to go to another attraction like Star Tours. You're at the Futureport. You say, oh boy, I don't remember making a booking here, but I guess I'm at Futureport. Where are we headed? And then you would say to yourself, well, gate 1 has Mesa Verde. That's the Levy Express or something. That's a Final Call. We may have missed that one. Sea Castle, that's Flight 40. That's at Gate 5. That's pre-boarding. Then you got Villa de Pierre, the Skytram. That one's on time. Then you got Brava Centauri. That's a space shuttle. Holy moly, pre-boarding. Duro Atlantica. That's a sea tram. That's boarding, now boarding. Astral Base 4, space shuttle. That one's on time. Then you got Sea Castle. I said Via de Sol. That's on the Levy Express. That's maybe a levitating train there. That's on time. Nova City, Nova Site. That's a shuttle to get there. Via de Pierre, another flight there. Is that another one? Yeah. Wow, there's 2 flights there. That one's on the sea tram as well. Astral Base 3. That's a space shuttle. And then Omega Centauri. And then what's now boarding through Gate 4A or something? How come all the other ones are no? Oh, some of them are A's and some of them are B's there. Oh, boy, Scoot, I just did something. I'm sorry. So then we're boarding Horizon's shuttle. That's at 4A. That's now boarding. Okay, I'm starting the video again. And so we go, where do we go, left or right here, Scooter? Do you know? Oh, it's blinking even, so we know that's the one we're getting on. And what else do we need to know? Oh, it's Flight 83? Is that what you're saying? Okay, because it opened in 1983, according to this concourse. Is it 2 concourses? Or just one? No, Concourse B is not open, just Concourse A, because we're getting on 4A anyway. And then we have a little switchback here with purple ceiling and, it looks like somewhat futuristic. And music's playing. Oh, wow, we even gain a little elevation, or do we go down? Do you remember, Scooter? He doesn't know. There is a ramp, and then there's different, like a sea base, what do you call that thing? Travel posters. There's a space colony, a sea colony, and a desert location. And it almost seems like the paintings are moving back and forth because of different, mirrors and things. Then we hear an announcement. Excuse me 1 second, everybody. Hello, this is your announcer here. Sea Castle, the newest and most exciting floating city in the Pacific, invites you and your family there to come away with us to the sea. Convenient daily departures by sea train and skylift, if you'd like to join us. And then Mesa Verde, the most advanced desert reclamation complex in the Western Hemisphere, invites you to explore its wide range of career possibilities. A maglev express train to Mesa Verde leaves every 30 minutes. There's 2 trains I talked about earlier there. And then there's a space colony, Brava Centauri. It's exciting, of the Centauri space stations. Remarkably rewarding opportunities in Earth support vocations. You want to support Earth? Come up to space already. And that's at Brava. Space shuttles do depart daily. Don't miss your flight, though, because it's going out of space. And now what we're going to do there is we're going to get on the moving. Oh, boy, this is like one of those rubber Goodyear. I think this is a Goodyear platform. I don't know, though. And we're going to get on the moving platform into our Omni vehicle. Now, these Omni vehicles are facing, we go face to face with our vehicle, so not face to side. And what I mean that is, say, when you get on the mansion after dark, or I think when you get on Ariel, Little Mermaid, you get in the side of the vehicle, right? I think it may be the ride at the Living Seas. You still get on face, and then you get on left or right. Scooter's nodding that there is some ride that you still get on like this, but we're not sure what it is. But so you get in, you face the back, you walk in, you turn around, you sit down. I guess that's what I'm saying. And, make sure you're taking those kids by your hands and look where you're going. But don't worry, the belt is moving at the same speed as the vehicle. And this cat, hello, how you doing? Thanks for working today. This is our vehicle here. Are we headed to Brava Centauri? Oh, no, Horizons. Oh, okay, good, because I was just testing you. Now, this is a unique vehicle, right? It's very, now we can fit up to 4 people in here, but just you and me right now. It's nice, huh? It's got it's black, but maroon on the inside. Or orange or red. I don't know what you say, whatever color you think. I'm watching the walkway go by here. Vehicles are by the way, the doors of your vehicle are going to close automatically. So just keep everything inside the vehicle, because throughout the entire trip, all right? No messing around. This is a ride for everybody to enjoy, but you got to follow the rules, And the doors of your vehicle, keep seated, please. Please keep seating. Oh, boy, I'm noticing some clouds going by as the doors close. These are these clouds have lights, like maybe it's summertime and the bowling above the earth, the demigods and goddesses there. But really what's happening is a change in time, because Horizons passengers, you're cleared to departure for the 21st century. And this was the 20th century. So you are time traveling. I thought we'd maybe go to the past first, but I guess we're going to the future. Yeah, that's where we're going. The 21st century, Horizons 1. Well, that's some destination. I never been. I mean, in the 90s, I wasn't there. That's right. You're going to get to see new towns of Tamara. Tamara, not Tamara, like not someone named Tamara that runs towns, but Tamara. Like there'd be desert farms, floating cities, colonies in space, right around the corner. Don't you worry. But, this isn't exactly the first time anybody's tried to, change time periods. People have been dreaming about the future for a long time. But first, we're going to have a little historical exhibit here after we pass these clouds, which are so lovely, because people have always tried to travel to space before, and sometimes in fiction. So, with balloons and launches, even, Orville and, people have said, I'm going to take Orville and Wright to the moon. And a lot of this, was in novels by people that wrote stuff. But then we see Jules Verne himself over there, and he's him and a chicken. Is that all that's in there, Scooter? This is odd because, we're trying to do everything at once. But, this is the stuff dreams are made of, as he announced over several hundred years ago. They're always fun looking back at tomorrow. Oh, no, there's a dog in there and a chicken who's the floating because they're in the state of suspension. And it's very Victorian on the inside, velvet, fancy lights, and really looks comfortable. Very small, though. It's a capsule. It does have a couple places to look out of, though. And that's a grand old Jules Verne there. That was a trip to the moon, like in the late 1800s. And then there's a famous, it was ahead of the time, but the person on the moon there, and they have Jules Verne's ship, and they say, hello, you landed here right on my smiling face. How nice of you. And there's stars everywhere. Now, isn't that nice? And then we're going to get to some paper craft. This is from French futurists, and I got to say, there's a lot of kinetic motion here, even though it's paper craft style. There's trains and fish and express trains, dirigibles, buildings, villages, and it's nice, but, and people painted some pretty fantastic views of the future, and they may have been mixed up or not, but we don't always know everything. But certainly beautiful and certainly in motion. Then we go to another set here. Now, this is one of the sets you've probably seen more. You may have seen pictures of it. They may even have it in other places. And this is Easy Living, always been right around the corner, like on the Jetsons or something. And this is back in the 20s and 30s, what they thought the future was going to be like. There's a robot vacuuming. That's a humanoid robot. Then there's more of like a droid robot helping in the kitchen. And there's also a man who lives there in a smoking jacket, smoking and looking out the window. And so that's always interesting. Then there's another person getting a haircut from a haircut robot. And it's also giving him sunshine you can get sunshine from different places there. And you could even get hot or cold air if you want, Arctic air or tropical air blown on you. Upstairs is also a woman taking a bubble bath. It's Walt Disney, very, I don't know if this is mid-century modern, but she's watching a TV. from which a song from Carousel of Progress on it. And yeah, then we see the kitchen. The robot's trying to clean the kitchen, washing dishes, sweeping and cooking, and also giving milk to a cat. So that's quite the future. And this was just one of these sets here. It has spiral staircase. And I got to point out, like, a lot of depth because, nowadays they give you either or, like, and they use screens in the background. But here they're using multi-layered, multi-dimensional sets with motion. And I got to say, like, sometimes you got to look at these things, like somebody like Scooter or I, like, too nostalgic for these. And you say, well, yes, and probably this ride was a little slow moving and not enough story, maybe. Maybe that's why they, moved on. But some of the aesthetics of the ride or the principles behind it, which is, that's what made people like Scooter and I be like, wow, this is really, tons of thought went into this. And it's all there to kind of create a constant sense of, where it's easy to, even though you're seeing a set, it's easy to suspend your disbelief. And wherever you look, there's something drawing you deeper in that's able for you to set that aside versus maybe something we say, well, that's like, can't you create an illusion there? Like, I'm looking there and I want an illusion. Now, I will say they achieved, at the end of Tiana's, they really did achieve this, I think. So I was very impressed with the end of Tiana's Bayou and how they did do a combination of these things to achieve that there. So it is something that they can still do. But, oh, boy, yeah, we're enjoying. Oh, boy, this poor robot. That kitchen's a mess. They must have just had a party there. And now we're moving into a neon realm where there's a matinee coming up, like for the movies of yesteryear. And we got a lot of neon signs and projectors, and this, you could say, is a transition set. So you could take everything I just said and say, well, here it's a little bit simpler. But yeah, there's movies playing, and some movies you might recognize, like a Charlie Chaplin movie, and maybe even a cartoon, maybe even a little Buck Rogers, and there's movie signs for the Strand and other, what do you call those things, marquees. And it's in the glowing neon things. Oh, that must have been, was that Buck Rogers? There's a cartoon one. Interesting. Oh, is that a cartoon or no? And then there's modern houses, and on entering the city, and now we're seeing like a cityscape, again, very 50s, I would say, a little bit like, this is more of a fictional set, so less realism. And that's like a little bit like the Jetsons, I'd say, version. That was an animated show, I think maybe from the 50s or 60s. That has been repeated, but I don't know if you could still watch. It must be out there somewhere. They basically took the show The Honeymooners, then they made that into the Flintstones, then they made it into the Jetsons, I believe, but I'm not positive. And then the Simpsons said, we'll cover it. We got it. We'll take it from here. Okay, so in the city, the family, father still got work to do, goes to the office. The mother and son, they go out to do some chores. And there's new forms of vehicles, special purpose roadways, and unique parking and elevator services. And it does sound busy in this city here. And you can even say, like, if you want to take a rocket ship or a skyline, a monorail, you could get all the way from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. There's a burger restaurant. It does say UFOs welcome there. person and the dog with rocket packs, and stadiums and towers, 200, this flying cars can go 200 miles an hour, but right now it's like this traffic, even in the future. So you got to turn around there. And there's the house of the future, maybe, yeah. So there's the future from the 50s. Yeah, pretty far out, man. I guess so. But we always thought the future would be fun. And yeah, there's like stuff that's almost like neon and blinking lights. Oh, there's the cars there that are stuck. And some really cool stuff. Oh, and then some red lights, a cool red light effect, shimmering lights, shimmering wall of lights there. Very nice. And now we're going to move into, instead of dreaming of the future, oh boy, now we're like soaring over New York City here. Our cities, holy cow. Today we know what we're learning to do. We want to bring our dreams to life. If we can dream it, we can do it. Then we see a microprocessor that looks a little bit like a city. But, tomorrow's horizons are here today. And these are big screens. I guess this was called the Omnisphere Theater, kind of like they did in the other ride, too, where you kind of feel like you get a sense of motion. Before there was that Soren, there was stuff like this. So, yeah, right now we're going through the microchip. Now we're going through, we're looking at crystals being grown by humans. So back then, crystals were the future. Oh, and under the ocean is the future, too. So, yeah, we kind of we'll see some crystals. We'll see some people working under the ocean. This is your current time over here. I mean, current time in the past for us. And that's the helix. Soon that helix will be outside of Wonders of Life when they open it, but now neither one of these is open, but that's fine. And talking about learning more, and we're going through the helix, decoding its secrets, And that's very cool. And this was before, and then we're seeing, what is that? More decoding of secrets. This is like computer graphics. Oh, and it just turned into the sunshine because we, solar energy and all that. The sun, we're learning ways to harness its limitless energy. And there goes the space shuttle taking off, because people are going to live in space at some point. Habitats where people live and work, not a distant dream. We're close. And we get into another one of these big grand sets here. And what do we got here? Like, let me pause it. Is that guy playing the piano? Oh, I forgot to sorry about this, everybody. Let me read through I was kind of talking as I was watching the video. But yeah, there's also a computerized view of Earth from Landsat photography, the microprocessor, a computer on a chip, crystals inspired by nature. They're going to play a role in microelectronics, oceans of minerals and food to fuel tomorrow. And the building blocks of the future. It's all possible there. Now we're going to take a look at our 21st century living on land, on sea, and in space. But let's start off at our place. So this is a futuristic city of Nova City with an E. And we're at my place here. And you could start to see the set and the futuristically shaped buildings and really cool stuff. And this, again, is a set with motion in the background and a set with a depth of probably 15 to 25 feet. And it's, it's dusk, so we get to be, it's magic hour here in the future. It's not always magic hour. It just happens to be. You could kind of see trains going by. And if you look at my clock, it's right almost like 6:30 p.m. And, you know, I'm just sitting here. We're listening to, I'm playing like a little, I'm playing some, like a little bit like keyboards in a harp, put together. And, you know, just playing a little music. Wrote that myself. My dog here doesn't like my music, but whatever. My wife does. She's on the phone with my daughter. So you've, what you people would call FaceTime, but on big screen. And her and her husband are farmers. She works out on one of the desert farms. My wife's saying, "Oh yeah, like how's the new citrus crop out there?" Thanks, Mom. It's doing pretty good. We've got this variable solar stuff out here. Only if our kids were solar powered. I mean, I guess they are, but like I can't believe you raised us in a time without all this cool stuff. Oh well. Thanks for all those solar berries you sent. They taste so much better than non-solar berries. Oh, great! I'm glad you like them. Your granddaughter, she's the one working on that. Oh, I'm so proud of her there, and I can't wait till Michael starts to get involved with your farm. Yeah, same here, man. I mean, I guess he might, I don't know if he's going to be as helpful. He's just a kid, you know. And isn't that something? I send a city kid to college for 7 years and she becomes a farmer. She's an agricultural engineer, actually, honey. Okay, but I'm a city person myself. Yeah, but with today's transportation, we could be there in minutes. We also have all sorts of ways to grow our plants. You could see more in Living with the Land if you want to see it there. You know, we got plants, grow air, you know, different hydroponics. Got a nice thing to make air smell like oranges, just like if you were riding that Horizons ride, whatever that other ride is. So it's pretty darn nice, you know, and smells like oranges, or orange peel. And then we're going to start to see our next set here with one of my favorite sets because it's, I don't know, it's very futuristic without being space or water. It shows futuristic farms and farming robots harvesting a desert farm on Mesa Verde, which is thriving. There's birds and rocks and flying farming equipment with balloons maybe. And like some sort of like whirly birds and even like communication subs. A few years ago, this was a desert, no crops, no irrigation. This is quite a transformation. And then we got a control booth there. And this just happens to be my daughter. I mean, in you know, this ride, we just saw her on the FaceTime with my wife. But now she's working and she controls everything by voice control. Now her husband's also telling her that, hey, the weather's not that great. He's on a FaceTime monitor. And also you could drink some orange juice if you want. Standby number 4 crop transport. Latest weather forecast is rain in the north, honey. Thanks, dear. I see the clouds, and the robots are talking about it. Yeah, it's supposed to rain a lot, though. Okay, well, stand by. I gotta go. I'm working. Transporter, Harvester 15, get the North Quadrant and recycle. Hey, it's just me calling back again about that weather. Okay, well, yeah, I got it. Stand by. No, I mean, it's really going to rain. Yeah, thanks again. Let's suspend irrigation for the time being and hold for further instructions. Oh, you know what? I'm just watching this, and I'm the father figure here, and I'm saying, you know, that's why I call myself Ray. You don't got to be a father to have a father's figure. But or you don't have to have a father's figure to be a father figure. That's what I used to say when I'd come out on Father's Day. But this makes me proud. Well, honey, you wanted your daughter to go to law school. Yeah, but doesn't she miss the city? I think she enjoys it, honey. Okay. Oh, boy, we're seeing more of this set here. Waterfalls, kitty cats, fish, spaceships, flying cars. And this is my son-in-law in the kitchen. He's got a beautiful glass floor over a stream. So lucky, that guy. More ergonomics. He's baking a cake for grandson Davy. And it's a model of a space colony on there. And we got another kid using the refrigerator to make his food. He just tells him, hey, this is what's in here. And then the refrigerator can open. There's also gifts, but one's clearly Mickey Mouse. Hey, can you get me some bologna? Hey, no, kid. We got not bologna on the cake. Okay, you want ice cream? No, I just need candles, please. Birthday candles. Candy? No, candles, kid. Now we go into a communications room where, again, more FaceTiming's happening on a big screen. And this would have been mind-blowing back to kids like Scooter, that this would even be possible. And this young lady here, she's supposed to be doing her chemistry work, but she's talking to this guy on the phone. He's working on a submarine and saying, hey, yeah, I'm trying to work on my submarine. I'm not going to be late, but you're always late. Really, I'm usually punctual. Oh, yeah? Really? Can you be on time tonight? It's a party for my brother. I know it's a party. And my parents will be here, relatives. Don't worry, I won't be late. But you're never on time, sub guy. Come on now. I'm like I got it. You're my human clock. Okay, well, if you're late, don't worry, I won't be late. It's a party. Okay, I'll be there. Then we see him, it transitions him working on the sub, still talking. And he's on Sea Castle there. And he says, yeah, I'm working here. I'm working on my sub Saturday night. Don't worry, I'll be at the party. Now, me, I was the narrator. I said, what's she got to be flirting with this guy? Who is he? He's just a sub guy, beach guy? No, he's a marine biologist. He lives on the floating city. And on the lower floor of the floating city, we see a class of kids getting taught by a teacher. And they're learning a lesson about different things. After there's plenty more with everybody's going to get a chance to go, but we got to go over the diving lessons first. And we're going to swim with this intelligent seal, right? Okay, everybody know? Okay, we're going to stay in our group. We're going to use the buddy system. We've got our gill apparatuses for recirculation. We're going to check those every 10 minutes or more. Okay, and this isn't your first time swimming, so use your good judgment and follow the rules, right? No horsing around, not even seahorsing around. Then we start to move deeper in the ocean where we see the outside of the floating city and windows in the undersea part of the floating city, which is an underwater restaurant there. People are eating out and enjoying stuff. And some people are looking out the window at a seal who's looking at them, looking at the menus. And then we see that guy, Tom, the boyfriend, working on his sub there. And we go, we also see the kids swimming and the teacher swimming, Really looks cool. Floating cities are amazing. Whole new industries developed. Mariculture, they call it. And fun, honey. Don't forget the fun. Oh, no, this is serious business. Well, this is a new way for people to enjoy their lives. Okay, and we see more like stuff, machines working underneath the sea. The teacher's telling everybody, hey, is everybody paying attention? Everybody, want to check out the kelp farm? We're going to go on a tour of that, and then we'll check our fuel and take a break. But we're going to do that back at the farm. And there's always been something mysterious about the oceans. They got gifts, water, seaweed, salt water, kelp, all that stuff there. But next up, we got to get to space, transition, the darkness of the ocean to the darkness of space. But we see this space captain. She says, don't rush it. We got plenty of time. I'm going to guide myself into space. No problem, Captain. Take it easy. We see a space, like a little shuttle for traveling. Don't worry. Just get everything ready for our spacewalk. This is like on-the-job training. These space colonies are out of the world. Hardy-ha-hard. And this is Omega Transport. They're going to launch that shuttle out of Bay 3 to the 2. We see people riding the bikes and different places you could get stuff done in the spaceship, different ways like you could deal without gravity, which is pretty cool. There's even a few hidden Mickeys here, I guess. But there's also kids that are weightless. And this is my son's family, the New Frontier. This is them working on crystals and stuff. Sports, exercise, zero gravity. It was fun, too. It's Tommy and Mom. Well, let's try to mess around in here. Okay, this is good. You can practice floating with stuff. And then your father will help. But we got to get to this birthday party. It's on like this technology like FaceTime and Zoom, but like with holograms. Don't forget your magnet shoes. Your dog needs some. This work we're doing in space is really practical. It's nice to be a part of something good. Oh, is it? You better believe it. And now we're at the party, and everybody's has their own screen to sing to Davy, happy birthday. And we see all the sets again, but we're seeing like these cool holograms from all the sets as we sing the happy birthday to Davy. He's a terrific kid. And happy birthday, Davy. I hope you have a good one. And then we start now on a thing now. We get to choose how we want to get back to the base. Do we want to go back via the space, desert, or undersea? So you get to pick in front of you, and whoever the majority of people pick, that's how you go back. So that'll be nice. And then you pick one, and then it lights up. It's very cool. It's a touch screen, the first touch screen I was ever aware of. And then you go back. You get a movie like for whichever one a screen actually comes down. I think or appears in front of you, and you watch a movie. And the space one, you travel through space to return back to this Hall of Port or whatever. And it's a pretty cool ride through space. That's mission control through Futureport. That's how you pick it. To get back to Futureport, that's what we want to do there. Space, desert, or undersea. So you could go from Horizon's inner colony, clear for departure, or dive chamber 4, or just the desert. The desert's probably the most underrated one, to be honest. And and you hold for Omega Control. You know, they run everything, Omega Corporation. And then you get back from the future and you say, oh boy, did that go by quickly. But that's one of the nice things about traveling into the future. The journey's just beginning, don't you know? Oh boy, is that right, is it? And I'll tell you something, if you dream it, you could probably do it. That's what's exciting about it. And then we see some space stuff, and then we go back to the unloading area. And thanks for exploring. Make sure to take everybody in your party by your hands. And, you know, the belt we're going to step on is going at the same speed as the vehicle, so don't worry. Just pay attention. There's good things for you today and tomorrow as you get off. And thanks for exploring. And head off and have a great day. And I hope you enjoy it. And that was how the ride would end. Then you'd exit. I don't know if there was like I don't remember if there was like they didn't have gift shops for the exit areas quite at this point. So you would like go and like, I don't know if there would be like any displays. I honestly don't remember. Ray does not remember how you exit. Let me see if I could get this video to see what happens when you exit, if they have it on here. Oh, this is a ride again, looping back. So I guess you just get off your thing and you, oh wait, here we go. Oh no, this is, oh no, yeah, so we get off, we go right, it looks like this is, yeah, and then we go out. Okay, we're walking down a hallway, it's glowing, there's cool signs and sun and a lot of cool lights, a lot of multicolors. And then we take another right, a lot of mirrors to add to the effects of the multicolors and plasma type things. And it's almost like all that plasma type thing could carry you off into dreamland. It's pretty nice, I'd say. And then you go out the exit. So thanks for joining us, everybody. I appreciate it. It's your friend Ray and neighbor Ray. Always great to be in your ears. And good night, everybody. All right, everybody, this is Scoots with a Tuck You In message for very specific listeners. So if you're listening to me and hearing me right now, you know, I guess I'm here to keep you company, right, as you're trying to fall asleep still. So, yeah, this podcast does work imperfectly. But I'm still here. We're here together. So I just got to clear, are you a super listener or are you a new listener? Are you an occasional listener or are you just in the middle of going through something? You've been listening for a couple weeks or a couple months, or have you been listening for longer than 6 months, longer than a year, longer than 3 years? Do you listen to 1 or 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes a week, or do you listen to 4 or 5 episodes a week? Do you listen all night long, or do you fall asleep fast? If you're one of those last 2 groups, I definitely need you to listen and hear what I'm saying. But any of those super listener groups, right? This is a message specifically for you, the one person, and really, if you're listening and hearing me right now, you probably are the only person hearing me. And if you already said yes, you're 1 out of 20,000 people that get the most out of the podcast, that the podcast on some level is valuable to you. If you're part of one of those groups or multiple parts of those groups, if there's anything valuable about the podcast to you, does it have tangible value? I know it makes your life better. I know that supporting the show will feel really good, but I'm also super confident the Sleep With Me Plus is something we designed with super listeners in mind. And I'm pretty sure you'll miss the show if we have to make drastic changes or it stops existing. Think about that. Like, does that to change the value of the podcast? I've asked before, like, if Sleep With Me went away, how much would you pay for it to get it back? Because once we stop it, it's, you know, or cut back anymore, it's going to be tough to, it's just like machinery. The show works like a machine. And if we shut down a part of it and it stops, I think you understand. Actually, and it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't even matter if you it just matters if you think the show is valuable and that value has a tangible meaning to you, like you're willing to support the show back. That's always what this membership and supporting the show has been about. but I over the past couple of years, gotten more and more clarity on how people listen and the degree it's valuable. And so the question is the degree it's valuable to you more than whatever's standing in your way, particularly if it's just stuff that stands in my way. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't care. Somebody else will do it. My support won't make a difference. I'll do it one day. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. Someone else will do it for me. That's just too much work. And believe me, I've been in that spot where when we say it out loud, it sounds silly. But I'm not trying to be demeaning. Like, I've been in that thing where it's like, that's just too much work to sign up and take 2 minutes to support your podcast. Even as a podcaster, there's been times, well, I'll do it later. I'll support that show later. Sounds like, I mean, I got to go on the website, then I got to look it up, then I got to find my card. So is the value of the podcast more than that or not? Because if it's not, then it's like, okay, I guess that's all I need to know now moving forward. I know I've heard from the people who can't afford to support the show, and I've heard from the people that loathe me asking directly for support. So those groups are well represented. And the people willing to take action right away are well represented. But how big is this group? Like, and what am I up against? Or is that group that's like, and how strong is that resistance? That's what it's gonna come down to, right? Is it that valuable to you? If it's that valuable to you, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now and sign up. Push that water up the hill or whatever. Say, hey, you know what? That's not true. The show does matter more to me than 2 minutes. I will go upstairs and find my credit card. This podcast has changed my life. I am a super listener. I do listen all night long, or I have listened for 3 years, or I have listened for 6 months. I do listen 5 nights a week. I do fall asleep fast. I do listen to every episode. I do have playlists. I do have favorites and things I don't like about the show. I have preferences. I have opinions about the show. I listen to older episodes. Yeah. If any of those are yeses for you, maybe say yes to whatever's holding you back and say, hey, yeah, this is important to me. What you're saying, it's more of like a mist that stands in the way, not just of me supporting the podcast that's made my life better, but of other things that's made my life better, because that's what I've found personally. Because believe me, all those voices, they'd rather me not be asking directly. They'd rather I never had to ask for support ever in the history of the show. But that would have meant when I first had brought in money to hire Posty to work on the show, that's what the choice was. Well, I can't keep doing this without some help. And how much does it cost for somebody to edit one episode? Okay, then how much would it be for you to edit 2 episodes? Okay, how much would it be for you to edit 8 episodes a month? Okay, now we have the money to pay you to edit that many episodes a month. Can you do 12 episodes a month? Oh, wow, okay. Okay, what's the next bill we could start paying? That's how the show developed and kept going. And I plan on keeping it going. Or keeping at this until I find out, nope, that's okay. It's just not enough. It's not valuable enough to most listeners. That's okay. It's just not valuable enough to most super listeners. If we find that out, then I'll make the hard choices. But I believe it is. And I do think, I do at least suspect from my own personal journey that, yeah, there's a group of listeners that'll never support the show, that are diametrically opposed to it. And there's people who can't support the show, but then most people are in the middle somewhere. And it's just this other stuff, these other obstacles that are real and powerful, but they're not monumental that we got to push through. So if that's you, if you're still saying yes, can you support the show right now? Before those thoughts start coming back, like right now, while there's a gap, while you're listening to me, can you pick up your phone? Or can you go upstairs? Can you go downstairs? Can you go in the other room? Can you go to your desk right now and sign up to support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Or you could sign up like right on your phone. And by the way, just set up the bonus content tomorrow, you know. You'll hear from me. You'll hear from Sleep With Me Plus and Supercast that runs it for us. But if the door is open now, don't wait because the door is going to close. We both know that because we both have experience in it. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now. Thank you so much.